Hey guys, so I started reading this book series called You Don't Know JS by Kylie Simpson, and yeah, I completed first chapter of it into programming. So I thought I would make a video of it and keep you updated with my journey of this book and yeah, give some value out of it. But before we do that, I want to talk about some things going on with this channel, and you can skip to the part where I start with the book by the timestamp will be in the description or in the first comment pinned. But yeah, I want to talk about some things about the channel. So what I have planned and what failed. So basically I planned of doing live streams daily, but my network, our Bharti Airtel internet is not letting me do it because I have a lot of major issues. If you have followed, after 10 minutes or so my stream is ending abruptly, so I don't think I will be able to continue that, but I would try to read that book and put out 10 to 20 minutes of video, if not every day, every alternate days. And for this book I will try to put 2 or 3 videos daily, 2 or 3 videos per week, depending on how fast I read it. So yeah, we won't take much pressure, but yeah, that. And the other one, getting started with series, is also will be coming out every now and then. If you want me to start and give an overview of new technologies you want to start with, you can suggest me that in the comment or in my Instagram DMs. That's always open for you guys. Anyways, so I guess that's it for now. And yeah, so since this will be an ongoing series, please subscribe so that you get notified and I get more subscribers. Peace. Now let's start with the book. So the first book is Up and Going, and the first chapter is into programming. So this chapter is basically for everyone who wants to start programming and who have never done any programming before in their life. Obviously we will be concentrating on the language JavaScript, but this chapter basically explains the terms in the programming generally, so it is applicable to every language you will see. So yeah, let's just get into it. And if you are not from a computer science background, this will be useful. So I have created a list in my sticky notes. So these are the topics we will cover, and hopefully I will put them, the dark one, in description as timestamps, so you can check them out as per your need. So yeah, let's start with code. What exactly is a code? When you say I'm coding, what exactly that means? Or code or slash program, you can say program as well. So what is a program or code? So basically that is giving an instruction to the computer to do something. That all a code is. So we give instruction to the computer and it basically does that task for us. That's basically what code is. Next, statement. So statement is something that does something. So a program or code consists of multiple statements. So like if I say console.log, you need not to worry about this if you haven't seen this before. If I say hello world, if I press this, so this is a statement which says that print out hello world to the console. If I say var x equals 10, so this is a statement which says assign the value 10 to x, to the variable x. So this is a statement. Basically statement is something that does something in the program. What's an expression? Basically expression, one or more expression makes up a statement. So like this 10 is an expression. If I say 20 minus 10, this is also an expression. But so basically an expression is anything that what do you say, makes up a statement. Okay, you can say expression as the elements of a statement. Okay, so yeah, and basically an expression will sum down, will return a single value. Like if I have something like 12 plus 12 plus 14, so this is an expression and it will always return a single valued expression, you can say. I guess you can say that. Okay, so that's expression. Okay, and one or more expression makes up a statement. So we can even say var c equals, I don't know, 12 into 7 divided by 10. Okay, and it's undefined. Basically it is returning undefined. You need not to worry about it. We can print the value of c as this. Okay, we can simply say this, or we can say console.log c. Okay, 8.4. Okay, you need not to worry about undefined right now because it's language specific, not programming specific. It's language specific to JavaScript. Okay, now you have seen me doing this. I will tell you how to execute. Well, you have saw me like how I'm executing my program. So what I'm doing, JavaScript execution is very easy, because you need not to install any new software or anything. You can do it inside your browser as well. So what you have to do, just open a new browser. Any browser it can be Mozilla, Firefox, Chrome, Edge, Internet Explorer, Opera, anything. You can just go to there and you can open inspect elements, or you can come here and say, I don't know, more tools, developer tools. Okay, you can open the developer tools and it should open your console or elements tab. Here you have to come to here, console. Okay, and you can clear the console like this. I have opened a incognito browser as you might see, but you can do this in normal window as well. Okay, so now that's done. Okay, now and the way we write the program, you have actually seen me doing. I'll just write something, console.log, and it will print that for me. Okay, it's an empty string, so it doesn't print anything. Okay, so output and input. So every program, most of the cases, you would need an output and input. Okay, so let's say you are doing a competitive programming, so the question will give you some input. You have to consider them, you have to process that input, and you have to give an output, right? Most of the cases you will have to do. Even if you are designing a web app, you are designing a form, so you would take some input, right? So username, email, name, and everything, and you will save them or process them in a database or anything. Then when the user logs in, you have to show them the details, right? The details, like, so that's input and output. And the way in the browser you can take input and output is basically, well, there are multiple ways, but in JavaScript you can take in number of ways. Like there is prompt, so you might have seen like alerts, right? So you have like alert function, which you can pass a string that you want to alert the user with, hello world. Okay, so you might have seen this in your browsers. Okay, so this is an alert. This is the way we take in give output, and the way we take inputs is like, let's say we wanna take name as input. We would say prompt, and we would say enter your name. This would save this whatever we enter in this variable, and we can say the way you get to the next line, well, when you press enter it will be executed, and when you press shift enter it will come to the new line. Okay, and we can just simply, or let's alert this time, alert hello, oh come on, hello, and we can name. This is basically string concatenation. We are not adding to strings. If you don't know string, we will cover that later, but basically we are combining hello with the name which will be saved in this variable. Okay, so we enter Arpan and it will alert us hello Arpan. Okay, so that's basically input and output in the browser without any help. But this this thing you can take to anything, like if you're making an form, like you will be using HTML forms there, and you can take the input from the JavaScript as well, and you can process that. But the idea is same. We take input and process that and give an output. So next we have operators. Okay, now we have seen already the assignment operator here, equals. So what this does, this basically assigns some value to the variable. Okay, variable we'll see later what's that, but this basically for now you can say that it contains actually that's what it is. Variable will contain some values, literal values. Okay, that's one. Okay, math. So we can do in any sort of mathematical operation, like I already told you. Okay, this plus, minus, anything, and multiplication. So I won't bore you with this, but yeah, you can do any every mathematical operation. And one thing you might not know if you are new to programming, this is modulus operator, which basically returns the remainder. Okay, so when we divide 13 by 2, what is the remainder? Okay, and the general, this slash is returns the quotient when dividing. Okay, so this thing could be new if you are new to programming, but yeah, that's all the math operation. Then you have compound assignments. Okay, so what is compound assignments? Like let's say I want to say like var a equals 12. Okay, now I can say that var b or a, let's say we don't have to reassign it, but we can say equals a plus 10. Okay, so it should take that 12, then add 10, and it should return 22, right? So 12 plus 10, 22. But we would have done this in a simple way as well. So we can say simply like this. Okay, this will be 32. So what this does, this is the simplified form of that. So if you're adding plus to the same number, same variable which we are assigning to, we can simply say a plus equals the literal value 10 or anything number. And this goes with everything, like if we want to multiply into 10. Okay, so we can say that as well, and we can do this with every mathematical operator. Okay, that compound assignment is valid with every mathematical operator. Okay, increment and decrement. So basically, let's say a is 320 right now. Okay, so we can say plus plus. Okay, and this will become 321. Now why this happened, when we press enter, it showed the previous value, right? But the updated value was 321. So basically, let me show you this first, that if we decrement it, it will be decremented. Okay, this is plus plus is shorthand for a equals a plus 1, and a minus minus is a equals a minus 1. Okay, that's increment and decrement by 1, adding by 1 and decreasing by 1. But let's talk about why this happened. So there is two types of increment and decrement as well. This same thing applies to decrement as well, but we will take the example of increment, and this is valid to every programming language. So what happens if we say plus plus, this will return the value of a first, or if we are saying like console.log here, here we are doing console logging because we are logging into console. So basically this will increment the value at the later stage and print the value first. Okay, but say we wanna print the incremented value, the updated value, we would have to do pre-increment. Okay, so this will increment the value first, then print it, and this will print it and then increment the value. Okay, so I hope that post and pre is clear. If it's not, please message me, because that is something that. Okay, so object property access, this is something which you would see in C, like structure, okay, but in JavaScript we have objects like so we have something called as object, which have basically properties. Okay, so let's say we have a user, let's say Arpan, okay, it will have a username property, which will be a string called username, Arpan codes. Oh, come on. Then it will okay, I pressed enter, I should have pressed shift enter. Okay, then it will have let's say an ID, not is, ID, we give a colon. This is the syntax, and this is language specific, so you need not to worry, because we will cover this in depth in the next video, which is the next chapter. Okay, and let's say we will keep it as integer, and then it will have a full name, and it will be Arpan Abhishek. Okay, okay, we didn't give comma here, we have to separate it by comma. Okay, so now we get undefined, that means we have. So if we print Arpan, we have an object with 3 values here. So what this operator is, object property access, we can access the property of Arpan using dot notation. So we can say username. Okay, so using object name dot then property, we can access that property value. Okay, like Arpan dot id, it will give the id value for that object. Okay, so that is object property access, the dot notation. Okay, and if you noticed, this console.log was also the same. Okay, so this log method is inside this console, okay, object, and we access that method using dot notation. Okay, and same way we have, let me show you a cool thing, we have error as well, like this was a mistake. Okay, so this will show us like an error like we got here. Okay, so this is we have a warn as well, I guess. We have a warn as well. We can say console.warn, and we can say this is your first warning. This is your first warning. Okay, so yeah, so console is an object which has multiple methods which we can use, but mostly we use log only. We have table as well to print array in form of table like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You can even style your console logs. I don't remember the style one, but I would ask you to go and research about it, how we can style our console logs. There is very cool, I am not actually getting, but yeah, we'll move ahead. But yeah, we have table as I told you, and we have info and everything. But yeah, we don't have console log style, but there is some things, and you can research about it. That will be a good exercise. So we saw that we used equal for the assignment, so we cannot use it for equality checking, right? So we have something called equality checking, and we can say like true equal true, so it will be true. So basically double equal is for equality check. Okay, and bang equal or exclamation equal is for the not equals. So basically this is saying if true equals true, is true equals true. Okay, so that is true, and is true not equals true, but that is false, right? So this is similar. So let's say there is one catch here. If I say 1 equal 1, this will give me true, but this should not be done, right? Because 1, integer 1 is not equal to the string 1. String is basically group of characters. Okay, if you don't know that, string is basically group of characters. Okay, so this one is not equal to this one, but it will give us true. So what's the workaround here? So we can say triple equals here, and this will give us false. So basically triple equals check the data type as well. So if I say 1 triple equal 1, it will give me true because that's numeric and 1, but that's 1 but not numeric, so that why that will give me false. And same applies for this as well. Okay, the not equal will check the data type as well. That's equality and comparison. So comparison is very similar. So we can say greater than 16, which is false. We can say 21 less than 10, which is also false. We can say 21 less than 70, which is true. And we can combine equality with this. So here we don't have to give the double equal. We can say less than or equal to. Okay, same way with greater than equal to. That's all is comparison. Now logical. Now we can combine multiple logical and we can compile multiple comparisons. Like if you wanna we want a number which is less than 21 and greater than I'm not getting any big number. Let's write a program. Let's clear the console and let's write a program called we'll say num equals, we'll take from prompt and we'll say that enter a num. Okay, shift enter, and then we'll say num console.log num greater than less than 21 or, okay, this is or, okay, double pipeline which you will find above the enter key, return key, and num greater than 30. Okay, so it will prompt us enter a num. We will say let's enter between 21 and 30, so we'll enter 25. It will give us false. And if we do that again and we give like 10, it will give us true. Okay, so basically or will consider either of that. So if this or this is true, the result will be true. But on the other hand, if we have and let's say I gave 40, this won't be true in any case, because a number cannot be less than 21 and greater than 30. And so basically this double ampersand is for and, this double pipe is or, and basically I guess this is very intuitive. Or basically means this or this, so anyone is true, the result will be true. And is pretty much intuitive as well, because this and this should be true, then only the result should be true. If anyone is false or both are false, it will be false, the result will be false. And then we have not, which does not take two inputs. It's basically what it will do, it will oppose the thing. Like if num is greater than 30, so if we press 30, it will 10, it will return true. So what this did, it basically, if we say true ampersand, it will do the opposite of it, like not true, false. Okay, this is basically not single exclamation mark. Okay, values and types. So values and types, we have been working with it a long time, but we can actually check. There are actually 4 types or 5 types of values in JavaScript, but basically type is values and types are basically the types of data. Like we have, if we say type of, so we can check here. So if we press 12, it will give number, it's a number. If we dot as well, it's a number. So in different languages we will have, like this will be an integer and this will be a floating point number, but in JavaScript it's general number. Okay, if we have something like hello, it will be a string. Okay, and even if a single character, in some language it might be a char, but here also it's string, single. Okay, it's string. String is basically number of group of characters. Then we have true and false, which is boolean. True is a boolean and false is also boolean. So it can boolean can only be a true or a false. Okay, then we have something called null. It's an object, okay. Then we have array. Array is also an object. Okay, we will see what's an object later on. Well, actually I showed you an example, but we have undefined. Okay, and that is a special type which is undefined. And we have something which is ironic, I'll tell you that as well. So we have something called NaN. So this is NaN, and the full form is not a number, which is a number. The type of not a number is a number. This is ironic, but it's very helpful in some cases, which you will see, hopefully you will see. So we know what types are. So basically we want sometimes we would want to convert one type to another. Like I'll tell you, we take age equals prompt. Okay, I used it before. So what's your age? Okay, if I say 34. Okay, so 34, we have now 34, and if we check type of age, it will be a string. Why it's a string? Because even if we take form input in form of forms or this prompt, every time the input will be a string, and if we want a number to do some calculations, we would want to explicitly convert it to a number. Okay, so how we can do that? We can actually do something like 34. Okay, so this will, you say our age was 34, when we added 34 it concatenated. So this we don't want, right? We can't do something like this, right? 35. So this will do. Okay, this increment will know that I am incrementing, so this means that this should be treated as a number, but after we do, it will be a number. Okay, after we increment it, it will become a number. But how we wanna explicitly tell that it should be a number? I guess we can do something like let's take again prompt age, let's say 12. Now if take again, it's a string again, congrats. Now we can do something like we can do something like this, and it will be a number type. Wait, we can do this. We can say like parse int age, and okay, we have to save it. Okay, we have to save it to this age. Now it's number, and we can also do with number as well. So that's one thing, you can do it without incrementing it. But yeah, incrementation also works, and same thing goes with any other data type as well. You can even say parse float, parse double. Okay, so Yeah, so I told you that a number is generic in age, but let's say if I got something like var price equals prompt enterprise and I say 12.3. okay, so if I say here price equals parse int and price, it will return 12. okay, but we don't want that, right? We have to consider that decimal point as well. So in that case we can use parse float as well. Okay, I hope that's clear. Converting from one type to another. Then we have something called as code comments. Okay, what's code comment? So basically we would want to comment our code, because let's say we wrote a function do something. What's the function? We will discuss that. Now I forgot, so later on I do not forget what this function do. I can say that this function will do something crazy. Okay, and we will just return hello. Okay, so when we run this function, you need not to worry about running and everything. We will do that. So this thing won't be executed anywhere. Okay, so this is just for the developer understanding, or what you say. You can write comments in your code to later on you or any other developer if sees your code, it should be easier for them to understand. And this double slash provides you to write single line comment, and this, if you want to write multiple line comment, you can simply say this is a multi line comment. Okay, so this will not do anything. Okay, so then we have variables. We actually talked about variables, what it is. It basically stores memory values in computer memory. Okay, so that later on we can use, like we just saw we used age, right? We still have age as 12. We still would have price as 12.3, because this is stored in memory and we can get it from the memory anytime we want. But yes, again this will be stored till the process or the price is not price, till the process or program is running. So if we refresh it, we would not have age. Okay, uncaught. So yeah, when we refreshed, the memory got vanished and it was cleared. So that's variables. It will store the value in the memory and it will give us a name, which obviously we define to point to that variable in the memory. Block. Okay, block. What is a block? Block is basically like, if we say if, need not to worry about it, if else, क्योंकि we have these three at the end. Okay, so we say if true, you want to do something. Okay, so this thing, curly braces, is a block. Okay, like we have multiple statements, console log something, and we can even say console let's say var a equals 10, and we can say console log a, and then simply not return, it's not a function, then this thing ran. Okay, so we had multiple statements and we enclosed them in a block, so that became a single statement. Okay, so that's a block of code. Block of code basically encloses multi-line of statements, multiple statements together. Okay, so that's basically block of code. So then we have conditionals. Okay, so this was a condition. Okay, so basically we saw that comparison operators, right? So this true and false will be taken by this conditionals. Okay, so we can say if false, and this false can be anything, like you can write here 12 less than 3 or anything. Okay, so we can say console.log this is true, but we all know that this is false and this will not be printed. Okay, so when that's the case, we would want to have an else block. So what this will do, if the above statement is false, then this statement will will get executed. Actually, not statement, the block of code will get executed like so. This is false. So you see, this is false, this was skipped and this was executed, right? And similarly, like if we want to have multiple cases, like if this is not true, else if 12 is less than I don't know 30, then console.log okay, this one is true. Now you see, this didn't run, this didn't execute, but this did because this was true. But even this was below that, it was not executed, right? So from if else ladder, only one of the block will be executed, and that should be at the top. Okay, like if I give something, like if I copy and paste this below it, we know this one is true. And if I say less than 40, we know this one is also true, this one is also true. So look at this. Okay, so this one is true, is executed, but this one will not be executed, since this is the part of the same if else ladder, right? So this is important. Like if you want to execute both of these, we want to separate it from else condition. Like we can do something like this. Now this else is attached to this one. Okay, this else is attached to this one, not this one. Okay, and since this is not a if else ladder, this is just if, so these all three are independent. Okay, so if we run, so this one is executed, then this one is also executed. Okay, so if else ladder, in a if else ladder, only one of the block will be executed. In if independent ifs, anyone can execute if that is true. And if I make this false, like this one, we know that this one is already false. Now if we make this one false and we make this I told you that this else is connected to this, so you should trust me with that. But yeah, so we made this one false, this else was ran, executed. I hope the conditional is clear. This is only conditional. You can make any sequence, any combination you like, but this is the conditional only. Okay, so loops are amazing. Basically with loop you can do one thing multiple times. Okay, so what you can do is you can simply say, like for, there are two types of loops, while and for, in most of the language, and there is do while as well, but let's focus on one loop because the time is running. Time has been a lot, and I want to finish this, and the concept is same. So let's keep this. So let's say var I equals 0, and let's take while only. Okay, because I guess that is easier to understand. So let's say while we declare a variable I, then we say while I is greater than 10, we want to console log I value of I. Okay, and oh wait, while I is less than I, because I is 0, so I is not greater than I thankfully I did that condition was false, because if we keep this like this only, it will run infinitely, because I is not changing its value. So we have to change the value of I so that it becomes greater than 10 sometime or equal to 10, and the loop stops. So it starts from 0, then it goes 1, it will run again and again. Okay, so it prints the value of 0, then it increments I, then it goes again the loop again. When the I become 9, so it will again make it 10, it will again check the condition, 10 is not less than 10, and it will stop the loop and break out of it. Okay, so there is some things like break as well. So we can say like, okay, so we have to set I equals 0 again, because the I's value is 9 currently, 10 currently. Okay, so we can say like if I equal 3, then continue, not continue, and if these are independent, if not if else ladder, please make sure of that. If I equal 7, break. So what this will do, this thing continue. Oh right, wait, I have to refresh the, okay, it is an infinite loop now, so I have to close that tab. Okay, so I did something blunder there. Okay, it was an infinite loop, but let's see it one more time. Okay, while, okay, let me increase the font size. Okay, while I is less than 10, I would say I plus plus here only. Okay, now if I is equal 3, then continue, and if I equal 7, then break, and in any case console.log, let's just console log I, not value of I, just let's I. Okay, so what this happens, this is basically if we have only single statement, we can ignore the curly braces and we can write it in one. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. So what we are doing, we are saying that if I is 3, I becomes 3, so 1, then 2, then I become 3, continue, basically ignore the statement below and go at the top of the iteration. Okay, so what we did last time, what I did last time, this I plus plus was at the bottom, right, and we did continue, so it printed out 0 1 2, and then it was not able to continue because the I was that only, it was not incrementing, so it was an infinite loop, and that's why that happened. So that's continue. This basically skips the code below that and goes to the top. What break does, if value is 7, then this will break the loop, break out of the loop, it will not continue the loop. Okay, so it will break it. That's what it is. Okay, so that's what loops are. That's basically everything about loop. And function we have already seen. So what function does, function is basically chunk of code we can write once and use it multiple times. Okay, so we can say console.log hello, oh come on, hello. Okay, so this is not something very great, but yeah, you can get the gist that we have at least let's take some meaningful example. Add, okay, and we will take two inputs. Okay, so we can take parameters to function like console.log does. It takes a string as parameter and console logs it. Okay, so we will just return a plus b. Okay, come on, b. Okay, so we can say add 1 comma 2 and it should return us 3. Okay, in the same way we can say, so you see we did not have to write this, but okay, so this was just single statement, but imagine we have number of statements, so we can modularize our code. So let's say we have some function, some functionality to encrypt our password, right? So we would need that in multiple places, right? So we would just write a function and use that function everywhere, so that we do not repeat our block of code 10-20 lines every time. Just single function call. This is function call. Okay, so it could be something as simple as that, without any parameters, do something which does not even return anything. Okay, or it could be with parameters and we can return anything, and it does not mean like we are taking parameters so we have to return it. We cannot return it. So you got the idea, right? We can have multiple things, like we do not take any parameters, we can return something. We take parameters, we do not have to return, and these two. I hope that's clear. That did not messed up with your mind. But that was it for the basic of programming. Okay, that's all programming is. After that you have some this was actually basic of programming in any language. You can take this idea and start any language of your choice. But if you are staying till here, I wanna show something why JavaScript is very, very powerful. Okay, so allow me to do that and I will tell you why I love JavaScript. So I'll tell you an incident, what happened. Let me make this, resize this. Okay, so what happened, my school friend, one of my school friend got not placement, but yeah, he's getting an industrial level industrial training. Since because of the COVID-19 everything is online, so they are even uploading the class recordings, okay, the live recording classes that he gave me, because I'm a collector, if you know. So I like to collect courses even if I don't see, but they are industrial level classes, so I see it, I watch it. Anyways, so he shares me the link. I'll open it, and that's there is no place to download the lecture. Okay, so what I did using JavaScript, just a small script, I just selected the video element of that web page. I got the source code or the source URL from which it is showing the video, and I just downloaded the video from that. So JavaScript is very, very powerful because the whole front end is powered by JavaScript. No other programming language is there. So on the front end you can do anything you imagine with JavaScript, and seriously no limitation at all. So JavaScript is really powerful, and I would really like you to continue this course, and obviously subscribe to the channel if you are new, if you haven't yet, so that you get the notification. And I already told 2 or 3 videos every week on this about this book as I complete the chapters. Okay, that completely depends on my speed, but yeah, you will get this book's content on a regular basis. So yeah, thanks for watching if you made it till the end, and I will see you next time with another video. and yeah, it will keep on going. YouTube is not stopping now. I know I took a lot of breaks, but yeah, I'm back. Okay, peace, bye bye.